You're listening to Productivity Monsters in the Morning. We are the energy vault your real estate business needs to get you up and out and excited and productive for the day. We go over trending topics and things that really matter in the market of the moment. Here are your hosts, Tiffany Hampton and Brooke Silva.
Good morning.
Good snowy morning to you.
Yeah, I haven't looked outside yet. I refuse.
Well, you've got a little break in your blind where the dominoes must have hit.
No, I'll deal with that tomorrow.
I don't like this. I don't like this. For our viewers at home who don't know this, I think I've talked about it before, but my husband's in school. Why am I blurry? It's how today's going to be. My husband's in school full time to be a physician's assistant. And of course, February is the month that they chose to take him out of my life for a month at a clinical rotation in Connecticut. And he's just far enough away to not be able to drive home back and forth. So he's staying with friends. So I love winter cleanup. I love winter cleanup. There's my mindset today. I love it. I love it. So I'm all by myself dealing with the snow.
I'm putting out to the universe. I remember St. Patrick's Day, like the kids were real little, so it must have been like 10 years ago. It was 80 degrees and we were jumping in puddles at the beach. So that's the energy I'm putting out there, that on March 17th, it's going to be 80 degrees.
I love it.
And the snow will be no more.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Speaking of, let's talk about self-action, right? Like when we look at, we really do determine what we can accomplish in life. And it starts out with being aware, right? And we talk about gratitude. However, it's even more than gratitude. It's the story of your life, right? We all should write our own books.
And our affirmation today is, I have much to be grateful for, because even on days like today where I knew I had to get up at 4 a.m. to get out there to try to clear the snow for anything, it still wasn't bad. Right? I'm grateful I get to come into a warm house. I've got my coffee ready. Like, there are so many things to be grateful for that sometimes it's difficult to remember them when things are painful. And we're coming off a family reunion, and we've talked about Ed Mylett, and I think we're going to talk about him for a long time in our world. But the ability to, you don't have to be a positive person to see the positive in situations.
You don't do positive?
I'm super positive usually. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. Well, and when you talk about like the 21-day week, what's really cool about that? Well, first off, we've said, how many times have we said that at any moment in time, you could change the trajectory of your life. You just have to turn around, change your mindset, or whatever the case may be. Well, and a lot of that comes with, what questions are you asking yourself? And are you self-aware of where you are? And, I started this journey right around when I read his book. So it was the beginning of February before we left for family reunion. And I was like, I'm just going to write my journey and put in there, if I were to do it all over again, what would I do? So it could be like a workbook, right? And maybe it'll turn into something and maybe it won't. But one thing that it will turn into is my life will be changed. And it's because we're taking the time to really be grateful for the wins and be grateful for the losses.
And I think it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day. It's time blocking is not an easy thing.
No.
Sticking to it's easy, it's not simple. Or it's simple, it's not easy. It depends on the day, right? And I think once you get into the habit of doing it, I'm so time blocked. I actually had to take a step back this week, and I figured out that, like, something I've never done, about my checklist with my kids in my house. Hope she went around the checklist. She changed the order of things, And it threw me for an absolute loop because I'm sitting there looking at my child who already brushed her teeth, still has pajamas on, but is eating breakfast. And I was like, what are you doing? You can't brush. But she's like, yeah, breakfast tastes disgusting. And I was like, yeah, that's why we don't do that. And while it sounds so little, it absolutely threw me. Like I was like, what are we doing here? We can't do this. What are we doing?
Yeah. Well, and I think, was it you? I can't remember what call. It was one of our calls yesterday. We were talking about going through that exercise of what do we do every minute of every day. Like, so I'm working through that right now. So, that was Monday where I wrote it in. And I know that I start my day at 4:30. Sometimes I get out of bed and sometimes I don't, right? If I don't get out of bed at 4:30, it totally derails my whole day. Today, the weather was icky. I didn't roll out of bed until 6:30, means I didn't exercise this morning. I know, right? Ridiculous.
I've never heard you get out, like, you don't even get out of bed that late when we.
No, matter of fact, when we're traveling together and me laying in bed because I don't want to disturb you actually ruins my day.
You don't disturb me most nights. When we roam, it doesn't disturb me. Stop that.
Because we're we get into habits and structure and rituals and it makes a difference. And sometimes that could be good or bad.
Yeah, I struggle with some of I try to be flexible in routine. I try to really practice gratitude, and I'll give you the tip and trick I use every day in a minute. But I'm very grateful I have the ability to have those routines. They're not easy always, but that's a small gratitude piece. And one of the techie things that I've done over the years is I set gratitude alarms on my phone because it's really hard to journal at night for me. Like that is my decompress, and decompressing does not include journaling at night. I like to scribe in the morning because I'm such a routine person. So one of the things I started doing is about 8:30ish is when my first, and I'm one of those who have to trick myself. This is the stupidest thing. You're going to laugh. My alarms are never set for 8:30, 6:30 or round numbers. I do like 8:27 or 8:24. Like I have to trick my brain. But what I do is whatever I'm trying to be grateful for, whatever's difficult in my life and trying to find the sun and a little bit of rain, that's what I put on my gratitude alarm on my phone, because you can name your alarms.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing forever, is changing out my gratitude alarm. And like last night it was, I am super grateful for FaceTime. And that sounds silly, but I gave my husband an iPod because he refused to go over to an iPhone. So we took an old iPhone, made an iPod, he's Android, so that it's easier for me and the baby, who's not really a baby, to have FaceTime with him while he's gone. And that's my silly alarm for today. And this whole month while he's gone is I am grateful for FaceTime. It also reminds me to call him.
Right?
I get spinning.
Yeah. Well, and some people, I mean, you brought up a perfect point. Some people time block just their business.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you time block your business, are you forgetting about your family? Are you forgetting about your personal? Like, I put in my calendar from 6 to 7:30 is just undivided family time. It's not cooking and spending time with him. We're one-on-one, right? We're one-on-one conversations, because cooking is a distraction. Does he spend time in the kitchen with me? Absolutely. And we're in the middle of a project, but that 6 to 7:30 is just me and him, no TV, talking, having conversations, planning the future, seeing what his bottlenecks are. And the one thing he hates Keller Williams for is I've turned from talking at people to asking questions. And he's like, Mom, stop asking me questions. I was like, I don't know how. And asking questions gets you to think.
It is. And I've noticed that Keller Williams has made me ask better questions in general to my family. We we don't say what was bad today to Hope, because I don't want her to ever think this was a bad day. It was a bad moment. It was a yucky moment. So we never, at dinner table, I'm like, what was one of the most favorite things you did today in your classroom? Did you have any nice chats with your friends? Right? Like trying to come into this with a positive mindset, because my boys were kind of negative. They were like, today sucked. There's so much homework. Like, there was like, I don't want to talk to you at the dinner table either. And cooking with a 6-year-old, I can't imagine what it's like with your Sasquatch in the kitchen, but at least he can reach everything for you.
Well, yeah.
Out. But it's,
can you pick that?
Yeah. This is me holding Hope up. Like, I'm like, here, stand up on the counter and grab that for me if she's home. It's the best thing. Because the two of us, like, she's almost as tall as I am, I feel like. But it's hard with her in the kitchen too. But I'm so grateful to work with her in the kitchen. And what I had to learn was to buy her tools that were age appropriate, so she feels helpful. That child will eat anything she puts her hands on that she's a part of. And I was like, oh, but you don't like cooked carrots, but I made them. And I'm like, rock on, sister. Eat, make all the carrots you want. It's so funny. So there's my tech action for you guys today. It's to set a gratitude alarm. Because if you don't have the ability to journal, maybe you're on the road, tell the lady in the box to journal for you. I am very big on voice to text. One, it's the funnest game on the planet to try to figure out what I say.
What you said.
Versus what she heard. Because it's sometimes when losing your New England accent is a practiced thing. And I have to practice this daily. But it slips out when when there is heavy emotion. Let's put it that way. Like your accent slips out. Your Jersey comes flying. Yeah.
Siri has told me to slow down before. Please slow down so I can actually, because I'm from Jersey. I talk fast.
Go.
Yeah. Just what it is. But I say water and daughter in the world. They all know.
I drop my ass. When I am, there are so many TikTokers out there who do that too, where they have their customer service voice, their phone voice. I think that's why I'm so tired at the end of the day, because I'm hiding my accent all day. Like, yeah, just do it. It's so easy to slip back into that. But anyway, so tell the lady in the box what you're grateful for.
Yeah.
Or whatever voice you have on this thing. If people saw how I used my notes, they'd be like, oh, that's how you use that app. Voice to text everything while you're in your vehicle, if that's where you are. Text yourself. There's my other trick.
Oh, yeah.
I text myself all the time.
I have more texts to myself than probably anybody else on my phone.
I just deleted my whole text thread to myself. It was 32 gigs.
Yeah.
That's a lot of, like, I was like, why is my phone so, those are all my pictures, things, PDFs I sent to myself, note reminders. I was like, God.
Yep, absolutely.
So
right, ask the great questions and then end your day asking, how'd you do?
And you know what? Today's a great day to reach out and tell other people why you're grateful for them and do some care calls. We all know snow days are not fun days. If you've got little kids and you're trying to run a business, there are other people in your same shoes. So go ahead and make a good day for them as well. Reach out. Ask if anybody needs help or connections. Maybe you know plow guys that are out there running around, or people who will clear. Make someone's day. It'll make you feel better.
All right, my friend. Till tomorrow.
Later, my friend.
Bye.